is holistic, academic ability, linguistic abilities, personal motivations, extracurricular references. That finished, the university already tells you what they're looking for. They don't use GPA or SAT cutoffs. So they don't actually like, if you don't have a specific grade, it's not that they won't accept you. Okay, so all of these are for BCL JD. Check. So there's one category that's called university category. Here it's saying that you need to have 60 credits for university studies. 60 credits of university studies, A-levels gives you around 39, I think, or 40, if you do science track. Okay, we'll look at the different things. There's language requirements. I'm just gonna check if there's a requirement specifically for LLB. So this one is BCLJD. I'm not sure. Let's see. Maybe for this one, you might need to like contact the Okay, so I think they discontinued the LLB program in McGill. If they did that, then you wouldn't be eligible for applying there. I'm gonna just Google it. Did the LLB? Usually the best thing for McGill is to just Google stuff. From personal experience, I was a McGill student before. Get discontinued. Let's see. Yeah, so they changed the program. So in 2020, they changed the program. Juris Doctor. So McGill was the last Canadian law faculty to designate common law degree LLBs. So that means that there's no other Canadian universities that gives the LLB degree. You'll have to look at whether you'd be eligible for JD or BCL, Bachelor of Civil Law. That's actually something that you might be considering, along with Kritisha, who was looking at MD, who was looking at pre-med. You might see that there's not many universities that give you direct entry into a bachelor degree for law. So you might want to look into that. What I was telling Kritisha earlier was that the system for medicine in different countries is different, and that she really needs to look at how different countries approach like the process of making someone a doctor. I'm gonna go through that a little bit in a separate, like in the same session, but a little bit later in a separate recording, because this is actually another important thing to do. So when you look at the application criteria for this one, you need to look at the BCLJD, and I think we already saw that BCLJD doesn't give you the ability to enter directly. So law BCLJD, and it says that, oh, not Quebec, sorry, other. This program is not open to students outside Quebec. So what it means is that you probably need to like take some courses in McGill first and then do that. So just something that you might want to keep in mind. So if you do, yeah, I don't see anything where it talks about this, but you'll need to look more in depth about it, definitely. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything, but it probably has the information. The website that we're looking at, this one. So when you look at the undergraduate policy and application procedures, it was talking about you need to have a minimum of 60 credits for university studies. So part of it is going to come from your A-levels. Part of it, you need to actually be in a university and take some university courses until you get to 60 credits, and then you start law studies. So that's something that you'll need to keep in mind. So, and also like almost all students will have already completed an undergraduate degree before starting the actual degree. So good to know that an undergraduate degree is usually 90 to 120 credits. That's 3 to 4 years. 60 credits is 2 years. So it's the equivalent of a diploma. So that's something that you need to think about if you want to apply to law in Canada. Okay, so that's a little bit of a tangent. Law is like this, medicine is like this. I don't think there's any other degrees that have this like pre-med, pre-law kind of similar track, but engineering doesn't, science doesn't, arts doesn't, language doesn't. What else? Commerce doesn't. Commerce and business doesn't have it. Yeah, I think it's just law and medicine. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so that's trying to find the application requirement. Okay, so I'm just going to do like a closing remark on this part, and then I talk about accreditation and making sure that the degree you want to go for in that country is the one that you want to go to. Okay, so closing remarks about this. Once you do your Excel sheet, once it gets like very filled in, you want to start looking at exactly like what do you need, what document do you need for this one, who do you need to ask it from, who do you need to ask it from, do you need to actually sit this exam, do you actually need to consider when it is given in the year, how often is it given, when will you get your results. There's a lot of different consideration that comes after doing this step. Even the references, there are guides on how to write a reference online. A good reference has certain characteristics, and even for essays, there's a process to get better at essays. Like it's not the one day you start writing and the next day you're a genius in writing essays. It's not the same kind of essays as you are used to for GP or English. So it's a good idea to take some time and actually get good at writing essays for university applications. That's just like a few closing remarks on this. When you do this, it's going to take you a while. So the first step, doing the long list of universities, that's not going to take you that much time. You can probably do it in one day. Second step, which is about narrowing down your list, removing all universities that you don't have the requirements for. Minimum 2 days. You can take at least 1 week or so. It's very it's usual that it takes some time. This step will probably take you around 1 month, including like trying to find out what exactly the document means, what exactly the criteria that the universities are looking for, how they change from university to university, like these kind of things probably take a while, like 1 month easily. When you start going and doing the exams, when you start going and talking to your profs, expect that it's going to take another month. So at least for the whole process, you might be expecting to take 3 months. So if you want to apply by January 12th, think of already starting in October 2022. So you know that this is in the middle of your exams. So for me, what I personally did is I started in August so that I have more time and I can space out the different phases of the application so that I have full time also for my exams. So that's how you actually build a timeline for application for yourself as well. So that's the last step in the full process of applying to Canadian universities. After that, what comes is like I could explain each of the different documents, but I think that might be a little overkill at this stage because you're still new to the process. I can probably do one afterwards in August or September. Just remind me about it, and I'll do a focus like what exactly does this document mean? What are good practices? What are good things to do about it? But for now, this is the last. Um, this is the last step that I'll be going through for this program. Gonna stop recording here.